You can start whenever you're ready.
All right. Gentlemen, I have one question for you all. It's the same question I've seen every Nintendo Direct, every showcase, every Xbox, every Sony, and that is Silksong today on
I don't believe it exists.
Don't disavow the existence over the intro.
Dakenja!
Prove it.
Gotta believe.
Prove it.
I, for one, never had any doubt.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast that's all retro all the time. Today, we're talking about Silksong, very much a retro game. But
Came
I'm
out
not
yesterday.
alone.
It's retro.
Yeah. I'm not alone today, though. I'm joined by three of the four other co-hosts. Wolf, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty darn good. I gotta say I am surprised at this one.
Okay. All right. We'll get into it. Chard, how are you today?
Really glad that we're talking about Chronos today. I'm super pumped to be here and cannot wait to have this discussion.
And last and certainly not least, Jake, how are you today?
Doing great. Very glad it's Friday. Very, very glad it's Friday.
Well, I want to, for our audio listeners, I just realized that I called everybody by a nickname version of their actual names. So for audio listeners that might be new, it's Werewolf, Chard Monk, and Sick Jake, and I am Sinistar. Okay, so we originally were going to be talking about a different game, which will likely be our next episode, likely. Although we change all the time, we're kind of flighty that way.
This is what, three
Press
times
B
this week?
to pivot. Press B
Yeah.
to pivot. You want to
Good
see ADHD in action? Come to our
Pivot!
Discord.
That's right. Yeah, squirrel.
Shut up! Shut up!
No, so we felt it was kind of timely because this, I'm not going to call this like a shadow drop, but it was pretty damn close to a
It's
shadow
close
drop.
to a shadow drop. If you're like, hey,
Yeah.
by the way, you've been waiting for this for 7 years, comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
a shadow drop.
Yeah, it was like
So,
released announced 1 week, and then it was a week later it comes out, I think is what it was.
It was something
before.
like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the most that we got was it had what, a 5-second clip in a Nintendo Direct like 2 months
that was
ago.
Yeah, it was when they were talking about the Switch 2.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody's like, day one. And of course, yeah, that happened. So for those that don't know, because I kind of don't know, and if somebody has the details for me, I know that this was originally going to be a DLC and it was a Kickstarter.
Yeah, so going back to when Hollow Knight was first announced on Kickstarter, they had a pretty modest goal. I actually don't have it offhand, but it was in Australian dollars, but it was a very modest goal. It was not the $1 million goals that we saw for a few other games that were, darlings of Kickstarter back in the day. But one of the stretch goals, I think it was around 30,000 or something like that, AUD, was for a second playable character, which is Hornet, who was a cameo character in Hollow Knight. And they met that goal. But what's funny enough, from their Kickstarter campaign, they had a number of different stretch goals. They never met all their goals back then. I remember the game being wildly successful, and it was, but not on Kickstarter, really. I mean, it got funded, which is fantastic. But there was a stretch goal for a third character that they didn't meet and kind of lost. And there were a couple of other goals on additional areas that they did end up doing anyway as DLC for the original Hollow Knight. But yeah, the fact that this was a DLC character, and they kind of said in interviews recently that as soon as they announced that they met the stretch goal and they started working on it as a character, they realized that the different moveset they wanted to have for that character just wasn't going to work for Hollow Knight, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense. So it would have to be its own standalone game, and they knew that even back then.
Yeah. If I remember right, it definitely did not surpass $100,000 in Australian dollars. I think it was in the 60,000, something like that.
Check my
Yeah, it
Mind
looks
Pals
like the
right now.
Kickstarter didn't even hit 62,000 because that
Yeah.
was one of the
Yeah.
goals.
So
It hit 57.
Okay.
Crazy.
If this had kickstarted today, honestly, this thing probably would have gone like up to millions of dollars. With
That kind of blows my mind that the Kickstarter didn't reach the numbers that they were asking for, and yet how many people were playing this game yesterday? What did you say, up to upwards of like 500,000 or some
half a
shit? Or
million
was that?
people. Yeah.
Yeah,
For 2
I
days
mean,
straight.
and that's only on Steam. That
right.
doesn't
That's
count.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
all-
We're not
yeah.
talking about Epic or Nintendo or PlayStation or any of those other consoles that were available. It's crazy. It's insane that, I mean, it's been a meme between us in the podcast because we've been doing the critic thing, the fantasy critic, and I jokingly, always told Jake that keep picking that game because I'm always going to win if he picks that game because it's never going to come out. And then, like they said, they half shadow dropped that shit a day ago, and you're telling me that back then, when Hollow Knight was wildly successful and a good game, it's a great Metroidvania, that it didn't even reach its markers, but 500,000 people were playing
Well,
this game. It's like Half-Life 3, right?
to be
Imagine that.
clear, it made its goal. It just didn't reach the stretch goals that they
The
were
stretch
going
goals.
for.
Okay, that's
What
right.
Yeah.
date was the Kickstarter, Wolf, for Hollow Knight?
I don't know how to see the original date, so I'm running through the updates to find the first one.
Okay. Because I can tell you, I'm just looking at a list of other games that were popular on Kickstarter around that time. And like the one that's the earliest one I see here is Broken Age from Double Fine. They funded on Kickstarter in 2012 and they made $3 million.
Oh, wow.
And then
Yeah.
you had FTL was also a pretty big hit. Pillars of Eternity was the one I was thinking about. They raised $4 million. We had for a while there a lot of games that were, I guess, big studios or big publishers that said were dead genres like CRPGs, Metroidvanias, platformers. And then so smaller studios went out of the way to fund by Kickstarter to see if there was interest in players. And there totally was. But I think we had a point where there was an oversaturation of things on Kickstarter. Like I had this issue with board games, right? There's been so many board games on Kickstarter. It's almost a joke now that companies that are very large are using Kickstarter to almost early access their board games or pre-order their board games. It's kind of not the spirit of Kickstarter. So I think maybe when Hollow Knight came around, maybe people kind of burnt out on the concept of crowdfunding a video game.
The
I
other
think so,
consideration. Sorry,
'cause
go ahead.
I found the date. So the first update was posted November 19th, 2014, and it says it's been 24 hours. So November 18th, 2014. And if I
Okay.
remember correctly, yeah, Jake, you're not wrong. This was a point when people were getting burned on their Kickstarters a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
that's why.
so
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
were really taking a step away from Kickstarter, and it was a lot more of
Well,
like, if you really, really want to fund it, do it. If you think maybe, don't bother, is kind of where people were
to
at.
That's right.
to be fair as well, you had studios like the group that did Wasteland. I mean, you had these massive studios, and then you had Team Cherry, which also, sure, they had some IP, but they weren't nearly as well known as some of the other people, like Tim Schafer. Tim Schafer could say, I'm going to
Huge
make
name.
a game about clipping toenails, and he'd get $1 million.
Ah,
Right?
yes. Podiatry simulator.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, which is why Broken Age carried the kind of weight that it did. So, okay, so it was originally a DLC for the original Hollow Knight. I know that the original Hollow Knight was incredibly successful once it was released. One of I mean, to understand how successful it is, literally every single Nintendo Direct or Xbox Showcase or Sony or whatever, like every single one you watch on YouTube, and the comments are just flying across the screen, and it's literally Silksong, Silksong,
Yeah.
Silksong,
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And part of that is because like just the way I think Team Cherry just managed the development of Silksong, right? They had, I mean, there's a great interview with them from Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. The day the game had an announcement, launch date announced, he released a review, an interview he did with them, and it really is just two guys who made made enough money that they don't have to work ever again if they don't want to. They get to do their passion, making the game that they want. And they spent the entire 7 years with their heads down, just drawing, doodling characters, and anything that seemed like an awesome, cool idea, they're adding into the game, right?
Yeah.
So in the interview, they even said they got to a point where if we don't stop doodling new characters and putting them in the game, we're never going to finish.
Right.
When it came to like the lack of communication with fans, they said they weren't as focused on that kind of side of the business. They're too busy making their game. So I mean,
That's fair.
yeah, and especially when how fans get so toxic with games. Like,
Right.
if I was a developer of Silksong, after year 2, I would go radio silent too. I wouldn't want to engage with people. It's it gets too toxic.
I mean, even amongst us, it was kind of an in joke that we, Silksong's never coming out, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the next Half-Life 3. We're not
Yeah.
going to see it. There's no way. They keep putting it on every year saying maybe this is the year, and it just never saw the light of day.
Yeah.
And it just couldn't have been more blindsided. Like it blows my mind to the point of when they're like, this is happening. I was like, no, it's not. And they're like, officially, like Team Cherry was like, yes, this is the date, August 4th. This is coming
September.
out. And I went, no, it's not September. Like, it's not coming out. And it even Jake was like, I can't get to this game because all the damn things are crashing out on me. Steam is crashing out. Nintendo's crashing. I cannot get this game. I'm like, because it doesn't exist, Jake. They're playing with you. They're toying with your poor heart. Let it go. And then he's like, yeah. And then he showed me a video of him playing it. Yeah, it exists. It's like, damn it.
There was
It
a news
does
story
exist.
where it was they said Silksong would be playable at some museum exhibit. So before it was even in a direct or anything like that, it's like, oh, it's playable at a museum. Like, what are you talking about? What are you doing here? Can you playable at a museum?
The Smithsonian, because it's fucking never gonna see the light of day. It's an ancient relic by this time.
Is this the new Doom plays it, right? Or it plays Doom? The museum plays Silksong, right?
My Dr. Pepper plays Silksong.
All right. So kind of circling back around, we originally were going to talk about a different game. And this is actually a good segue. We have a behind the scenes channel in our Discord that is sadly we're going to shill a little bit here. It is locked behind Patreon. And so you can actually get kind of updates as we go, plus funny videos, plus whatever, just inside behind the scenes stuff. We do have a Patreon. We're not actually trying to get people to, that don't have any funds. This is basically if you feel like you want to throw us a couple dollars, cool. If not, no big deal. We have some interesting tiers all the way up to we'll play a game for an hour or two.
Yep.
That you request. So we have some interesting tiers. Yeah. We'll even play a bad one.
Subject to review, but yes.
Well, I was going to say you get the real time, or we'll record it and put it up on YouTube, but you get our take on it.
Yeah.
So if you want us to bash you for an hour, give us something horrible. Yeah. So anyway, sorry to shill, but I wanted to do that. So anyway, we talked about what we were going to be doing. Last moment, we switched to Silksong, and all four of us have spent a little bit of time with it.
Yes.
So who wants to start with kind of their first impressions and thoughts?
Can I preface with being the villain?
Can we, before you
sure.
get into being the villain, can we just mention how I couldn't even buy the damn game for 3 hours because it brought Steam to its
That
knees?
was the joke. That was the segue, that I didn't think it existed because you couldn't buy it until like 11 o'clock your time. I was like, it's not there. Someone's pulling the wool over your eyes.
I've never seen a game break Steam and the Nintendo eShop like this badly before. I've never had an issue with Steam buying games on Steam ever. Yeah. And like maybe it's just a testament to like, not being able to pre-order it ahead of time and everybody trying to buy it all at once. I thought that was wild.
I think it's pretty telling that on yesterday, on Thursday when it came out, it was like 100 and some odd thousand people at any given time, and today was 500 and some odd thousand. Like that to me, part of that is like their checkout system broke and people couldn't buy
they
it.
finally got in. The floodgates finally broke.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, Wolf, you want to be the villain?
Yeah, I'll take the hits here. Hollow Knight. I feel like it was overrated. I have reasons for that, but I feel like it was overrated. I'm not saying it's not a quality game, but I don't think it's the gold standard for Metroidvanias that it seemed like everybody else portrayed it to be for a long time. It didn't click with me like that. I thought the music was great. I thought the art style was pretty, but I had an issue, and I've said this before, I know. We'll get past it finally with this one. Um, you couldn't just like it was hard to parse what was an enemy or a mob or whatever, and what was foreground and background. Everything was the exact same palette. It
Mm.
was not even really a difference in saturation or anything. And there were certain mechanics. I felt the gameplay was a little bit slow for most of the game, and that bothered me too. Boss fights were great, music was great, but and the characters were super charming, but it just it was lacking to me.
Mm.
Mhm.
Silksong was a big surprise. I was not actually excited for Silksong. Now that I've played a few hours, I'm in.
Nice.
Okay.
Locked
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on the background issue. Like that's the major issue. It seems stupid to talk about it now, but my big issue with Hollow Knight was that the graphical style wasn't doing it for me. The characters are
Right.
great. I did like the characters, but you're right. The backgrounds, while there was some detail there, they were very flat color wise, and it just felt so bland of a style. I just did not dig it at all. Everything else was great.
Mhm.
My issue with it was also quite difficult, and I think I hit a point where there's the Mantis Lord boss, I think. I think, Chard, you were similar. I got to the Mantis
Yeah.
Lords, beat my head against the desk for dozens and dozens of tries, and when I finally beat it, I'm like, I'm good.
You
I don't
need
need
to
to play
play
any more
anything
Hollow
else.
Knight. I'm
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
I
If we get
beat
forced
Hollow
to
Knight.
this, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We uninstalled it.
Oh, really? That was one of my favorite fights.
It
Yeah,
was
the three of
hard.
them. It was hard.
Oh, I
Yeah.
loved that fight.
Oh,
Well,
well.
since we're gonna trickle into Jake and my issue, I'll go next. Um, I my wife bought me Hollow Knight for my birthday with Alien Isolation, so understand that it came in a package with
Oh
a
boy.
game that I adore.
Oh
So
dear.
it was difficult to break away from Alien Isolation to really give Hollow Point its
I
due.
was gonna say this thing had no chance
Yeah,
at
it
this
had no
point.
chance. And I had not really gotten into my Souls phase at that time, and this game can be the difficulty level is much like a Souls idea where you die, you lose your experience, you have to go find it again.
Yeah.
When you get it back, then or if you die, if you don't get it back, it's that whole, song and dance. Um, and it was very challenging. It was exceptionally challenging. I actually really like the art style, but I could totally agree with Wolf and Jake's. It's difficult to parse. I was attacked, and Wolf said this, but it also happened to me that I got attacked by things I didn't know were there because it was part of the back. I thought it was part of the background, or it just didn't seem like it. It was easy to miss, and I died a lot because of things like that, where my eyes were not tracking what was supposed to be there
Mm.
because of the black and white and dark green motif. I think Wolf called it the Tim Burton-esque look of the game, which is stunning. It is absolutely beautiful. The soundtrack, fantastic, very whimsical. I love it, very ethereal. But my biggest beef wasn't the difficulty and it wasn't, the boss fights because the boss fights were challenging. And when you beat them, like Jake said, it was like, holy shit, it was the greatest feeling of your day. I got tired of getting lost. I like Metroidvanians. I enjoy, I love Super Metroid, probably my favorite of the Metroidvanians. Symphony of the Night, also the same kind of thing. But everything in Hollow Knight seemed like it looked the same. So I didn't know if I was someplace new or if I had gone back to someplace else. And I couldn't find the gear to progress into the areas that I literally kept coming back to, going, well, I need blank to get higher or across this gap. Where the hell is this power to get me through this? I literally keep coming back to the same spot and I don't know where else to go. and I got really tired of just running in circles, and I turned it off, and I never kind of went back to it. And there have been times I was like, you know what, I should finish that. I'm a better gamer. I'm older. I'm wiser. Let's give this a try. And I do Jake in Half-Life 2. I'd load it up. It'd be on my Steam Deck. It's easily played on the Steam Deck, and I'd be like, "Oh, there's something else I'd much rather play," and I'd uninstall it to put something else on. It's
Yeah.
literally Jake and his Sisyphean games for the last 3 years.
I've made
But
progress for the record, but that's fine.
yeah,
You keep
okay,
going. You keep
rage
going.
bound progress.
I've made
Yeah.
progress. Yeah, in
Different
Ragebound.
game, yeah,
Yeah.
different game.
Uh-huh.
But
Anyway,
I after playing again, I was just like Wolf. Was not excited about this. Was like, whatever. I'm on the fence. I'll wait till it goes on sale. It's $20 though. Hard to beat $20 on that in a game like of that kind of magnitude, right? And
Well, and
these
that's
guys,
a
and
point
the,
I want to talk about.
I won't go into depth on that then. But these guys are throwing. I mean, Jake is just waving the Team Cherry flag this whole time, as is Sinistar. He's just like, go check it out. You got to check this out. And I reluctantly checked it out, and I am glad that I did, because I'm into it's beautiful. All the things that I had an issue with, there's still some. Now I only played for 2 hours, so there's still quite a bit to uncover there. But I know the map system is very similar to the original, which I really had a beef with. But the levels look different. Each area has a different feel to it, and I feel like I'm progressing. I don't feel like I'm backtracking into something else. And if I am backtracking, it feels like it's supposed to be like I'm supposed to go over into that area. And I've done the thing that everybody does when they play retro games, where they're like, "Wow, I got into this area. That fight was pretty tough, but we made it through. Now everything is killing me in 2 shots or 1 shot. I probably shouldn't be here." And then I stopped playing because I was
I
like, I need to backtrack, and I don't know where the hell I'm supposed to go,
I
and I gotta
saw
go to bed.
I saw a meme that's a guy in armor, like a knight
Yeah,
in armor, and a spear comes and
yeah,
like just lodges in his chest, and it's like hit points 3 of 100. He's
yeah,
like, this area seems a little hard.
yeah. Shouldn't be here yet. So,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
do want to point out what I have seen in Silksong through I want to say maybe 5 or 6 regions. Um, Enemies very distinctly stand out from the
yes,
background and foreground now.
very
I
much.
do not miss them once. Like if there's an enemy there, I see it.
Yep.
They're not that exact same color and
Yeah.
saturation as the region, which I appreciate. I know there
Mhm.
was an art style they were going for with the original. This still maintains that style without holding so tightly to the rules that they made with the first game.
Right.
Yeah.
I also feel like the colors are a lot more vibrant. They're not afraid to use a couple, like an extra color here or there to
yeah.
liven things up, make it more interesting to look at. So the game doesn't feel as dreary and depressing, which
Right.
is nice.
You say that as I'm
And
showing the video on YouTube is of hanging cages and fire and brimstone.
Yeah. But I mean,
But you're
like,
you're
but I
right
mean,
though.
look at how vibrant that
oh, it's
orange
super
is.
Yeah.
Though.
pops. Exactly right. There's a
And then you
lot
see
more,
that
and the
enemy down
characters
there
got
is
red on her.
gray in a dark spot. You see
Yeah.
it's there.
and
It's
well
not the
outlined.
same orange as the background. It's great.
And the
And
main
well
character,
outlined.
the main character has also got some color to it, which the main character in Hollow Knight does not.
Right.
It's
The
very
bright
black and
red.
Yeah,
white.
well,
So she's
they
got a little
didn't
pop to
really.
her.
Yeah, that was something with the first game is they leaned hard into not quite black, but a really, sad sort of purplish blue, really dark, which was the
Dystopian
same
gray.
color as the Hollow Knight's cloak, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was frustrating. This, they're like, okay, let's go with some black, and she's red,
Yes.
Yeah.
so she stands out really clearly. I love the art style in this. They fixed what was wrong with the original game, and I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I also just absolutely love how quickly combat moves in this game and the
Very smooth.
platforming, and they do lean a lot on platforming. From what I've seen so far, location design also feels more distinct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So when I'm in a new area and I don't have access to
You
a map,
know it's a new area. Yeah.
it's scary, mostly because I've not learned it yet.
Right.
So I'm like,
Right.
where did I go? Where do I come from? Where did I come from? Where do I go?
Right.
What what's going to kill me around the corner and send me back to that bench that I last sat on 10 minutes ago.
Where was
Yeah.
I'm
the
going to lose
bench?
all this progress,
Yeah.
and it's nerve wracking.
Yep.
You die and you're like, got down, sat on a bench.
Yep. And he's right. Like your first area start out has pops of green and vibrance. It's called Moss Field or something. And then the next area is this fiery brimstone. So there's certainly very differentiated areas that whoa, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
Like we're definitely in a whole nother location.
Yeah. Like, so who actually beat Hollow Knight out of the four of us? I got
I
far,
did.
but I didn't beat it. Well, okay. So in terms of like, if you've beaten Hollow Knight, was there as much of variety in the look of the levels like there is in Silksong? Because Silksong, like Chart just said, there's
I
also like a
feel like
steampunky
no.
bell area and pipes
Mhm.
and stuff. There's Spike Cave, Cavern Hell. Like it's very varied,
Like-
and we've only played for a handful of hours.
I mean, there were areas like there was a big, massive sort of buried castle area, which sort of was like an old kingdom, and it was like, waterfalls everywhere. It was pretty, but the whole region felt very samey.
Right.
And then there's like the mines, and then the caves, and then the other caves that are a different color, and
Right. A lot of caves.
so it felt a little too samey, I think, in the first area, to where the only distinction mostly was color palette.
Mm.
And
Right.
I used color palette very generously, because it was literally like, this area is pink, this area is orange, this area is brown, this area is blue.
They're all very closely related in their color palette too. There's no like
Yeah,
It's-
it's never like
it's
the only
going
one that
from
was super
blue into
vibrant was the
purple.
pink.
Yeah, you go into blue and then you go into the purple and then aqua. They're all within the same rainbow scale. It's not like green to red, right? It's not this
Yeah.
huge thing. So that was my thing about getting lost, because I was like, okay, so there's a different hue of black here. I think I'm in a different area.
This is
a
a
little
blacker black.
grayer. Yeah, this
There's
is definitely
landmarks too
so
on the
black
map.
that it's
Yeah.
not, for those of you who are fans of Spinal Tap. Yeah, it's just this is so much better because there's so much more clarity on the things that were very, very hard to delineate from. And like Wolf said, that the combat is great. The controls are really, really responsive. Plays
Yeah.
great on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
This is definitely a labor of love with some great successes. I think this is going to be a lot of fun to play once I get through all the
Yeah.
games I already have laid out in front of me, because I'm the one that has all the scary games to play right now. But this is going to be a great game to when I'm done scaring myself on Chronos or Silent Hill F this month, I can decompress with some Hollow Knight and play that downstairs. So
Decompress with Hollow Knight.
well,
This
In
game
a
gave me such
different
way.
anxiety last night in
Nothing's
bed. I
gonna-
had to stand
nothing's
up and
gonna
go.
scare me at a Hollow Knight as
That's-
badly as Chronos
but
is probably.
That's
gonna
like,
be.
I'm gonna decompress with dread.
Well, yeah.
I think it's hilarious, because I was like, I'm gonna stream this in Discord today, just for you.
Of course,
whoever
while
wants
I'm at work.
to check.
Thanks. Can't watch.
Last night was
Building
Baldur's
Com-
Gate 3 night, okay?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So
Baldur's Gate
I
3.
figured I'd check it out for a few hours. I streamed it. Jake and Sinistar came by.
Yeah.
And after a while, Jake was like, wow.
Oh, well, hey, yeah,
It
you're a
was-
god tier gamer.
Well,
Yeah, Wolf's
that
got
was-
gamer. Yeah, what's a
that was one of the-
Metroidvanian?
That was one of the first things I noticed. I started watching it. I'm like, holy shit, he moves through this so much
really
faster
good.
than I do.
Yeah,
And then he's doing these like, enemy jumps to get to all these hidden areas. And I'm just like, I'm
This
lucky
is-
to jump
this
from
is
one
his
platform to the
wheelhouse.
next.
It
This
is.
his bread
It's-
and butter, dude. This is like, I would not be shocked to watch Wolf just totally annihilate this thing after 2 hours, being like, I've been to 8 different biomes, and we're like, cool, I can't get past the door hammer guy. Sweet.
We'll get to him in a minute, but I want to talk about that guy too. But I saw
I
Wolf
couldn't
when
get
you
past
were
that guy either, but
when you were streaming it. I saw you lead like a fly over to the side of the screen where there was a door
Yeah.
up on a cliff, and you
Yeah.
attacked it to get up to the top.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think of that, so I did that in my
Yeah.
save when I played afterwards. But yeah,
Yeah, I
it's-
watched all this
yeah.
and I was like, I suck.
Yeah, it's
I
it's
just
definitely a testament to the gameplay, like how tightly well it controls and how fun it is to feels to flip around and bounce off enemies. Like it's a fun game to play, and it's
yeah.
so much more
And
dynamic than Hollow Knight.
Right.
yeah, and that's I mean I swear by the messenger. That's one of the things I love about the messenger is the platforming includes enemies as the
Yeah,
platforming. And I know Hollow Knight did that to a degree. But it like, oh, we lost Chard.
we lost Chard. Oh,
Oh dear.
that's okay.
So I'll keep going though. I'll
Keep
just
going.
be split in the middle here. It's fine. I shoot, what was I saying?
You,
Oh,
the
yeah, that it
platforms as an
includes
enemy or
the
enemies of a
yeah,
platform.
in Hollow Knight, the enemy platforming was kind of saved for late game for the most part. It didn't expect you to use it a whole lot early on. It became like a mid to late game mechanic, and that became super heavily used by post game stuff that was extra DLC and whatnot. Silksong seems to jump right into it.
Yeah.
It doesn't expect it of you, but it rewards you for making use of it early, which I really appreciate.
Welcome
guys.
back,
And
Chard.
I don't know what happened. My computer literally just shut itself off and turned itself back on.
You know what it is?
But
You
wow,
know what it
no,
is?
but wait, that's even creepier. And I'm not kidding you. Chronos fired up, and I went, "Why is this game launching?" So I turned it off from Steam, where I stopped it, and then my computer said, "Well, fuck you if you're not going to play it," and it kicked me out. What the hell? That was the sorry. Anyways, for the audio listeners, I just
That's
had the
funny.
weirdest technical difficulties. I apologize. I'm back.
Yeah.
We're good.
Anyway, we were talking about how in the original Hollow Knight, using the enemies as platformers was mid to late game. This is as Wolf was showing us with great skill
Again, no surprise.
happens immediately.
Right.
So, do we want to
Huh.
talk about the controls a little bit or the moves, or we want to save
Yeah.
that? 'Cause
we can talk about because the moves I have are still in the first 3-4
Yeah.
hours, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
Because the game is supposed to be bigger than Hollow Knight 1, and I think I have 34 hours in that one file in
Yeah.
Hollow Knight. So
I saw a few websites.
I thought you were
claiming
going to say
it's
now. I was like,
20%
how long
larger,
did you
but-
play the game? Holy shit. 34 hours is only 24 in a day, dude. What are you doing? Sorry. Okay.
So the one thing I'm going to say about the moves, like, it's the basic move, right? Is the downward attack, and it's a necessary one because it's called pogoing, right? Where you jump in the air and you dive kick, almost like TMNT style, Ninja Turtle style, off of enemies. But in the original Hollow Knight, it was a downward attack, and I was much more used to that downward strike. So I had some issues dealing with that angle of attack because especially in certain parts of the game early on, you have to bounce off balloons, so I have to like space not directly above the balloon, but to the side, and you have to time the jumps. That was a little tricky at first. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I actually disliked the downward attack when I first tried it. I was like, "Oh, good. Now I have to plan my angle," as you said,
Yeah.
right? Like most games honestly have like a straight down attack,
Yeah.
Right.
like and this,
I liked it.
It was an adjustment just because it's not a standard way of doing things in most games. But I don't mind it. I think I struggled more with learning the fact that it doesn't keep going. It like stops after a short period. And so
Right.
I
More
would
of a
try to dive
dash.
bomb things from too high
Yep.
and then get hurt because she'd stop short and then
Right.
take damage.
That I like the angled attack. It's kind of cool because that's something that I would assume that you would have picked up later in the game after beating a boss, on like a power that you get, but they gave it to you right off the bat. But I was like Wolf, where I was like, oh, I'll start from this top corner of the screen. I'll just be dive bombing the shit out of stuff, and then it's like, nope, like halfway through, and you land on it. But I love the momentum on this game. I like that. If you time your jumps right on a corner grab, it flings you into the air and you can get higher.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really cool. That's a cool aspect. I like that.
The whole momentum thing is actually really on point. I saw a video of somebody comparing Silksong to Symphony of the Night, and it's clear they took their inspiration from in the animations. Right, anybody who's played Symphony of the Night, Alucard has a very distinctive when he turns. There's a flowy animation as he spins around, and there's a gravity to when he moves back and forth. it's the same in Silksong. I swear they copied that exact animation frame set. It's
Well,
it's
they
Yeah,
need
I
to-
noticed.
perfect. It's
I
great.
noticed she kind of dips her head
Yeah.
and
It's
speeds
really
into.
when she starts her first momentum of walking, it's like really leaning into it. They need the backwards dash though. If they're really going to go with the Alucard, we got to go.
Well,
with the
they
backwards
need
dash.
they need a double jump. I've not
Yeah,
found a double jump yet.
God, I'd kill for a
Yeah.
double
I'm
jump in this
sure there
game.
will be, because there was a double jump in the
There
first
was
one.
in the
I fired
second
up
one,
the
the first
original
one.
today
Okay.
for like 20, 30 minutes to
Yeah, I
mess with
downloaded it.
mechanics and stuff.
I installed it just so I could uninstall it here later when I'm like, I
Just so
And
you can
so, yeah,
Half-Life to it.
Yeah, yeah.
It had a simple dash that was literally just, either you dash for a short period on the ground or you dash through the air straight for that same short period. And it had a double jump. And
Okay.
Didn't
at
it
this
have
point,
it
at
had
the
a wall
point I'm
jump
at,
too, right?
it did have the wall jump like
Yeah,
Mega Man X, where you could just do it up the same wall over and over once you have it.
Was that from the beginning?
So I'm sure
or
a lot
did
of
you
that.
unlock that?
I'm pretty
No,
sure that
you-
was unlocked at the
Yeah, you had to
beginning.
unlock
You are just kind of
Nothing. Yeah.
trundling
okay.
about, not
Yeah,
doing
you're just
a
a
whole lot.
dude with a nail, just bebopping around. Tim Burton's best drawings. Something else.
But yeah, like the dash in Silksong, I absolutely love how it works. I do think there's one spot that I've struggled with, and it's just one spot, so it's not a huge deal. But it seems like that was intended to like teach the player that she has to run for X amount of time before she can jump with the dash, and you have to make sure you're all the way back on this ledge before you start running. Otherwise, you won't have the time to jump, and she'll just fall off.
Right.
But other than that, like the game I've already seen, and I pointed out to Jake earlier, which because Juby pointed it out to me because he came in and watched too. That they do a show don't tell kind of thing where they show you how mechanics will work using things around you, and in that particular case, it was with an enemy that started just jumping around through the hot coals and not getting hurt because it was just jumping.
Yes.
And it was like, oh, yeah, because, when enemies touch things that hurt, they get hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I think I just ran through the fire because I was like, screw it.
I didn't even
But I
touch it. I
jumped
didn't
on it.
until I saw Wolf do it. I'm like, oh, that's what you can do.
Yeah.
That opened up a whole other screen for me. I didn't quite realize because earlier in the stages there's like lava rivers or lakes of lava, and you can't even touch those, right?
That are
But the coals
instant
are good.
death. Yeah.
Instant, yeah.
The coals are cool.
Oh,
The
and-
layout and everything and all that stuff just it's really cool how like
Yeah.
we could take the coals and the lava for instance, like your brain goes, that's a hole, I'm not falling in that's bad. I think in the first one, you don't swim in the first one, right? Remind me if
I
that
don't
was
believe
like
so.
I think water is instant death. I think,
Yeah,
or it's
this
you,
one
you
you
lose your
can.
health.
I
think, right?
found
And my
I
first
found one
initial
hole that
Yeah.
had water and I swam in it.
my
Oh.
first initial thought of water was like, nope. But then I fell in it on accident and I was fine. So I kept going and there was a hidden secret in this
Oh.
little canal that opened up a whole nother spot for me. And I was like, God damn it, this is cool. All right, sold. That was like the second screen of the game. That was like, that's how deep I was into it.
That's an interesting point because honestly, like this game is almost like whack every wall. There is
Yep.
secrets
You have to.
everywhere.
It is the Elden Ring of wall whackers.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Just run around smacking everything like this wall break, this wall break, this wall
Yep.
break.
Oh, I'm hitting them all now. But the problem is there's just slightly indestructible environments. So every time you hit like a stalactite or some shit, it explodes. You're like, oh, there's a secret there. You're like, no, it's just the background. Just interacting with the
It's
background.
trash.
There's one part I haven't figured out yet where there's a character singing and there's a creature caught in webs and you can chop the webs, but they do disappear, but like you can't chop them as fast as they regrow.
I solved that puzzle last night. So you
And that comes back
so
to
I
the
have not-
Metroidvania style of it, right? So where there's something you get that let you do that.
You'll overcome that relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty nearby.
Yeah.
So we touched on it, and I want to talk about it really quick before we forget. But when this game had basically disappeared, like they were working on it, and then it disappeared, and then it showcased in the Switch 2 event for like 5 seconds.
Not even.
And yeah, and I said, I said, here's the thing is this game cannot live up to the hype. It cannot live up to the
Yeah.
hype at this point. 7
Yep.
years in development.
Yep.
They're not even giving they're not even giving rough estimates of time, right? And then they drop it for $20.
Yep. Yep.
And in my brain, literally the thing that I said to myself wasn't, hey, it's coming out. It was, that was the one thing they could do to redeem 7 years of like being silent,
Or
right?
make a good game, which so far it's been
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
Far,
But
good.
but what game in 2025
No, you're
of
right.
this caliber comes out at $20?
You're right. No,
Like,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden
So-
Ragebound was $5 more expensive. Shinobi came out, and that's I think $10 more.
30?
Like, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's pretty
games that
bad.
are a lot more expensive, and they're much more shorter than Silksong is. Like there was a few folks writing articles from, I guess, some indie devs saying, we can't sell our games for free. We can't compete with $20, and I don't think you need to. I think you could charge what you need to charge as an indie developer to whatever you think your game is worth and whatever you need to make from your game is fine. The folks at
Mhm.
Team Cherry literally don't need to make as much money off of this
Yeah.
game because they made their their retirement off of Hollow Knight. So
Yeah.
it's definitely interesting. The $20 is what got me to play. Having bounced off the original, I didn't really care to spend a lot of money on this. Not after playing Ninja Gaiden recently, but then I saw $20. I'm like, how can I say no? It's even on Game Pass if you want to do Game
Yeah.
Pass. Like it's
Yeah.
everywhere. No deluxe edition, no pre-order
Yep.
bullshit. It's literally
the
just
only-
the game for 20
No
bucks.
early release because we didn't know when the
Yeah.
hell it was coming out. The early release was
Right.
literally the next day.
The only add-on you can do is the soundtrack, right? I mean,
Right.
So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. I was like, wow, they did the one thing that I didn't think
Well, I
they
mean,
could do.
We talk about off and on, the state of gaming and stuff quite a bit. And with everybody with Nintendo coming out and being like, fuck you guys, $80, $90, that's what's happening. We're like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
And then
I
raising
don't
the
need Mar-
price on the Switch 1.
Yeah. I mean, there's just things that are attached to it that you're like, fucking really, dude. And then these guys
Yeah.
come out and be like, here's a game that we've worked on for 7 years that people have been literally clamoring to get their hands on. $20. Take
That
it.
plays in museums.
Yeah, the plays in the Smithsonian. It's on Game Pass. You can
Yeah.
play it for free if you want to. It's a very clear obscura kind of approach in this day and age, right? Where these indie companies are just like, here's $30. Go ballsy with it. Have fun. And they're great. It's not trash. It's not like fucking what's that goddamn pirate, that 4-star pirate game that came Skull and Crossbones.
Quadruple A game. Was it Skull
Yeah,
and Bones? I think it
that
was.
horse.
Gosh, it's
Something
still
like
going, I
that.
think.
I
But
mean, it's asinine, and we still got these, and we talk about all the time, these indie studios or these first time gaming studios release these games, and they're better than the people that have been here doing this shit forever.
Yeah.
And it's like, thank you, Blooper,
Like,
thank you, Sandbox.
Not only was
thank
it $20, not only was it $20, but like oh god, I lost my train of thought. Shit.
That's okay.
It's all right.
That's okay.
I had it.
We'll circle back around.
That's
circle
my
around.
job.
That's my job. I will say though, like having played like Sonic Crossroads, for example, recently, that they had a network test. I was all gung ho after playing that game, but then I saw the price point. It's got regional pricing. It's a full price game. It's got a full season pass. It's got all this other additional content, and it's going to cost me. It would cost me $120 to get everything in my currency.
Oh,
And I'm like,
yeah.
so like, why would I do
Speaking
that?
of-
Right? And Silk's always
speaking
$20.
of that, like Bloodlines 2, right? That's coming out. Not only is it going to be I guess it's a $50 game supposedly,
Okay.
but they locked one in particular race of vampires behind day one DLC. Like this, like they basically came out and said, hey, we're on a cash grab here.
Yeah, just so you know, bring your wallet.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
this game came out. It's polished. It's nice. It plays great. It's not garbage. It's obviously got 7 years of polish underneath it from
Yeah.
people that know what the hell they're doing. I mean, Hollow Knight was massive success, and I can't imagine Silksong being anything different. All jokes aside, and my flat Earth theory of this game not really existing, this game is really it's a banger. And this,
Yeah.
we're not, none of us are shouting Game of the Year for this whatsoever. But
No,
I will shout Move of the Year for
sure.
for a company to release something so quietly that is it would be like seriously, it'd be like Valve being like, "Oh yeah, Half-Life 3 comes out tomorrow." We'd be like, "What? Where did this come from?" And it would probably be pretty good because, well, for at least
Yeah.
for the Star and I, because Jake will just uninstall it and doesn't like Half-Life. But I would just say, it's just that kind of level of holy shitness that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Holy shitness.
Holy
Going
shitness.
back to
What's up?
your point, Sinister, about saying like, is the game, can it live up to the hype? I think for Hollow Knight fans, absolutely, it's going to live up to the hype. It's
Oh,
more
yeah.
everything in Hollow Knight. But I wonder, with the 500,000 people who are playing on Steam alone, who knows how many on Nintendo and Sony and Xbox systems, how many of those people though are even playing next week? Because as much as I like the game, it is a Metroidvania, and it is also quite difficult early on. How many people are going to be turned off from that? And so for those people, it may not live up to the hype. Maybe
That's
because
true.
they don't know what the game was.
That's
I'm
true.
curious to see what that's like next
Yeah.
week.
I mean, how many of these people have bought it just because they heard the name Silksong and never
Yes.
never
Yeah.
played Hollow Knight, but because there's so much behind it, they're like, "Well, I got to check this
Yeah.
shit out."
Yeah, everybody's talking about it. It's only $20. I should see what all the hubbub's about.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that as a point of purchase for people.
Yeah.
It's funny because you're like, I don't know about this being Game of the Year. Looking at the games I've played this year, I think it's a contender.
That's
Okay.
fair. That's totally fair. But I
And
mean,
that's not to say I've played bad games this year. It's just
Yeah.
I'm looking at the list, and so far, like of all the games I played, this one already has me in a way those ones didn't.
I think I just learned something that I need to keep a list.
That's what I've been doing. Tracking the games I've
cool.
beaten in the year, because I've been trying to
Yeah.
get better at it. I'm trying to finish games.
Yeah,
Jokes aside.
I started doing that this year. I'm actually keeping a list as I go, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to like make notes on the games as I finish them. Like, okay, this is what I thought of it.
Chat
Like, if
keeps
it-
me honest. It's fine.
If it wasn't Claire Obscure coming out this year, I think this could be a contender for Game of the Year for me as well, or at least a runner.
That'd be fair.
But we had
That'd be definitely fair
so much
discussion.
this year, like Monster Hunter Wilds. We had Blueprints.
And there's still
I
more.
love.
We're not even
It's
done.
your season, Chard. Like, how many horror
This
games are
is
coming
my
out,
season.
and they've all got like high 70s, early 80s on Metacritic. It's nuts how many good games are coming out.
This month alone could be a contender to fight against Claire Obscura, which is still going to be really tough to beat. But it's in the moment, right?
And Silent Hill too.
Yeah, I mean, well, Silent Hill 2 was last year, but
Oh,
I
was that
mean,
last year?
yeah, it was
But
Silent Hill
F is
F
coming out.
is coming out of the end of September. So, but I mean, it's in the moment, right? What am I going to be most jazzed about? There's nothing in this planet that could beat Claire Obscure for me, but I'm going to be so pumped that if Chronos turns out to be as magnificent as what I think it should be, and Silent Hill carries on the story or its lore in its own way, I could easily just fucking hurdle Claire Obscura just because I'm so jacked about the game that I finished right before the Game Awards, right? So I have to be very cautious about my emotional outburst towards the games that I'm going to finish up. But I mean, this maybe I play this game and maybe it gets better. I mean, it could get better as I play it, right? I'm 2 hours in. I don't have a lot of. I could tell you, I think it's great compared to the first one, but I can't tell you like this is going to destroy the greatest RPG that I've ever played in the last 18 years of my life or whatever. So I don't know. We'll kind of see, but this could definitely turn into something that could be a runner-up at some point. This could turn out to be like this was the greatest couch game that I've played since I put retro games on my Steam Deck.
Runs
It was the
great on
greatest
Steam
song
Deck,
in the world.
for sure. Like, this
Trivia.
game is awesome on handheld. I know it's on Switch 1, but I think it was Candlejack from our Discord community. He mentioned that Team Cherry, if you buy the Switch 1 version, you get a free upgrade to Switch 2 if you later get a Switch 2.
I think it's $1
Oh,
or
wow.
$2 upgrade.
Like they
I
give
thought it
you a
was free.
Switch. Like they give you
Maybe-
Switch
Well, they
2.
don't give you a Switch, but they give you the game. an
Does your
upgrade.
Switch like in your hands turn into a
Morph.
Switch 2?
Yeah,
Because
no.
I bought fucking Silksong.
It's Silksong. It's not wizardry, you know. But it's on the Steam Deck.
That's a
Like I'm
different
playing
game.
on the OLED Steam Deck, and so it's running at the 1200, 800 res on the Steam Deck. But it's at 90 hertz, which is the res of my screen. Looks gorgeous, runs flawlessly. The battery usage is nothing. I mean, it's not a highly demanding game, right? It's a Unity game. It's fine, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed how well it runs on handheld. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, any other call outs? I know that this is kind of first impressions, so
Um,
I'll go ahead, Wolf. I got one after.
were you going to talk about the map?
No, I was going to talk about the difficulty with Doorman. So,
yeah.
I was
yeah.
going to talk about the. I still am not a fan of the fact that it takes an equipment slot to be able
Yeah.
to see where the hell you are on the map.
That was one of my
Yeah.
beefs too.
it's even more restrictive in this game because unlike Hollow Knight, which had a series of badges, this one has tools which are similar, but they're divided by 3 color groups. And the
Mhm.
same spot that you would assign to the compass to show yourself on the map is the same one that's used for several other really awesome, cool utilities I would love to equip, but I can't live without this freaking compass.
Maybe we get out the graph paper, guys. Go back to Legend of Zelda. Graphing our maps out.
Yeah, let's graph it out. Let's go.
Squad goals. Graphs your map.
Don't tempt me, I'll make one. Add to the list of goals we don't do.
Yeah. We need some cartographers for our Patreon.
Yeah.
It is frustrating how they like make you buy all the parts to the map and the pins and all that kind of stuff, just like Hollow Knight does. I'm with you. I didn't like that either.
Not a feature I'm happy they brought back over, but it is what it is.
I guess for my point, it was the difficulty. I don't even think, I thought it was a boss. I died like 6 to 8 times on this one guy with a giant bone club until I finally got past him and realizing he wasn't even a boss. He was just a doorman blocking the way to a harder difficulty.
12-foot radius, dude. It's insane.
But when you get the trick, it's pretty easy to figure out the pattern. But man, I died so often that, and that's the early difficulty spike, and that's one wondering if that would turn off people. Like, am I going to get rage quit after like 5 bosses because they're like, I can't get past a freaking mob that's just bigger than normal?
Little bit of a hockey stick there.
Yeah.
But maybe that's intentional, right? Because I still think, and I said this earlier, that maybe that particular boss might need a tool or a weapon or some kind of power that you get later, like a dash or something that'll make that easier, which then you carry over into the new area and you're not getting your face stomped in by whatever's running around there. I think instead of being it's like a warning
check, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more of a warning than like, yeah, you could beat this guy, and if you do, God help you. Dexterity's not going to be any better. So when that happens to me, and I'm usually the one that kind of spins off when I'm, charred headed enough to keep hitting my head against the wall. With this, you just go, well, there's other places I know I haven't gone to. I'm going to go back and explore those other spots. But yesterday I was like, I'm too far away to all that stuff, and I don't really want to traverse all this area again. So I'll pick this up at a later date. So, but it's less of a spin-off. It's more of a 2 hours is good. I've drinking enough coffee. I think I'm good. I don't need to have another cup. So I'm gonna have to sleep eventually. No, one of those things.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
I found another room actually that I thought was a boss. Jake and Sinistar saw it.
yeah.
I tried to fight the thing the first time, and it was scary as hell.
You mean?
And so the next time I was like, wait, I wonder. And it was literally just survive it all the way across the room to get to the other side.
I'm gonna call it the vomitarium.
Yeah,
Good name for it. Yeah.
It
You did that early. That's when you were doing your stupid speedrunner trick to make it across the map, because we found out later you're supposed to have the dash to get there. You got there way early.
I figured out the dash was probably the way you were supposed to do it,
Yeah.
but it does look like the room was intentionally designed to where you could walk it the way I did.
Yeah.
Pretty clutch at the end, though, to dodge the vomit at the end. So. Gosh, the enemy designs in this is so good. There's so many enemy sprites in this game. In the 5 hours I played, I've seen at least 20-ish enemies that are unique. Like it, and that doesn't count the bosses.
So it's like Legacy of the Ancients. It's 40 40 different NPCs.
40 different men you had to deal with. Yeah.
Is this the
I don't know
one
how
with the
many
Jankos?
How many bosses are in this game? I think the trailer said something around 40. So it's definitely a beefy game. Like
Yeah.
if you like Hollow Knight, this is exactly what you wanted if you're a Hollow
Yeah.
Knight fan.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's quality of life Hollow Knight,
Yeah.
basically, for the
Mhm.
most part.
Well, awesome. Any other thoughts? We're kind of at a good point here.
No, I mean,
Okay.
all of our impressions are very short-winded, except for Wolf's. He's already beaten the game, and because he played it for 35 hours. But no, I mean, for somebody who this is such a whirlwind with this game because it wasn't coming out. There's no way this is going to come out. Ha ha ha! Why did Jake pick it for his fantasy critic? This thing's never going to see the light of day. Two, now we all have it and we've all played it, and we all like it. But it's so much happening. It's so quickly that it's hard to even still register that the game is literally on my desktop. I'm looking at the icon for it right now to fire it up. So I don't know how to feel other than mildly betrayed, but also mildly excited that it's here. So
Well,
Yeah,
makes you feel
somebody-
better.
I'm not
I'm not going to
entirely
win Fantasy Critic
certain.
either way because it's not going to get me enough points, no matter even if it
I know,
scores a
but
perfect
I'm
100.
right behind Wolf, and that's the only game that was gonna kick me in the dick, and it
Yeah.
didn't. And I'm really mad about it. I was like, I might
Enjoy your
if this
split
game
fiction.
doesn't drop, I'm there. I might be able to get him. And then it came out, went, no, I will be in second place forever. First place loser.
I will say I'm not sure if I'm really enjoying it because I was not super excited about the game and it's just landing better than I expected,
Mhm.
or if it's actually just super legitimately that good to where it sold me on it already.
Mhm.
Because I didn't have the highest expectations for it because it's been in development for 7 years. I didn't love Hollow Knight the way everybody else did, so I don't know.
Right.
Hard to
It's-
tell for me.
It's happened so fast that it's like feelings are lagging. They're so far behind. Like, do I actually feel this way, or is it just so surprised that it's here that I'm excited to play it because it's something we didn't ever expect to see, and it came out
Yeah.
yesterday. Like a day ago, I was laughing about it, going, "Oh, I'm gonna get Wolf," and now I'm not. And it's just like that. It's just a complete whirlwind of I'm a roller coaster of emotions right now.
Yeah.
I'm in a glass box of emotions. I'm Ron Burgundy screaming into the payphone right now at the top of my lungs.
Yeah, there's
Well,
no reviews
good.
for this yet. I guess because Team
Yeah.
Cherry didn't do any review copies, which is unfortunate for Games Media. But yeah, there won't be reviews for this game proper until like next week at the earliest. I am curious to see what it ends up getting scores. I think high 80s. I think is what's going to
wouldn't doubt
land at. Hopefully higher for my
wouldn't doubt it.
Fantasy Critic, but I can see high 80s for sure.
Honestly, based on what I've played so far, I would give it an 85.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I mean, it's more the same. It's just the quality of life improvements of Hollow Knight, and Hollow Knight was a huge success. There's no way that this game doesn't carry on that legacy in some. If this thing drops below 70 or even 79, I will be absolutely beside myself.
There's no way.
There's no way. Absolutely no way.
No.
Well, cool. Well, I'm just gonna finish by saying if you enjoy platformers in a Metroidvania style, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
$20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to argue
Yeah.
with 20.
It really
Yeah.
can't.
And honestly, it's worth in my estimation. If I were a Metroidvania fan more than I am, I would pay 40 for this game.
Mhm.
I really would.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Real quick, we are part of the SuperPod network. We have some other friends, the GNC podcast, the 3DO experience, SuperPod themselves, although it's Super Ghost now.
Super Ghost
Mhm.
now, yeah.
Yeah. So you can find us there, superpodnetwork.com. You can also find us at our website, pressb2cancel.com or pressb.org. Come join us in our Discord, give us all your thoughts or comment on our videos. You'll also find us on your audio podcast services. And if we're not on your favorite service, yell at Jake.
Sure.
He'll fix it.
I'm used to it. You can tell me
Wow.
that I suck at Half-Life too while you're at it. By the way, it needs to be on XYZ service. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just going to throw this out. Anything we want to call out? I know I'm just, you know what, I said anything, but I know Chard is going to be streaming here this weekend, probably tonight, which is Friday night.
We're going to finish up Silent Hill 3 tonight and getting that guy buttoned up. And then we start new game Chronos tomorrow. New game from Blooper. Very excited about it. I'm on a Blooper kick. I have Observer. I have the Medium. I'm on a kick. I wish I had checked these guys out earlier. Some of the games I've had forever and didn't know they were Blooper games. So if you couldn't tell right now, my favorite company is Blooper. Right.
All right. Well, Jake or Wolf, anything you guys want to call out?
No, not for me. I'm just here right now. No, work is kicking my ass, and I just honestly, it's focusing on the podcast the best I can right now. There's cool stuff I want to try and do, but I got to find time for it.
Jake, we appreciate you keeping up on the audio and all the craziness, because that's work that I don't know how to do. So
yes, we love you. We love you for it. We love you for everything, actually.
Yeah.
You're the one that reaches out to us first thing in the morning in Marco Polo. It makes me smile. So we're good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Wolf, anything going on?
No. I do want to start getting some. I don't want to overpromise, so I'm not going to say anything here just yet. But hopefully, I'll have something to share with the community in the next few weeks. That'll be kind of fun.
Someone did finish his Sisyphean game a couple days ago.
I did finish my Sisyphean game. That's true.
And that's a long
so
one.
So much time left, man. What's the rush with you guys?
Yeah, we've got like half a year.
I was gonna say I beat mine 2 weeks in.
Charge you're the achiever, but geez.
Let me go to my Steam and see how many hours I put into.
Yeah, I'm sure you put quite a bit. That stupid game.
Well, he's looking that up. I am not DJing this weekend, and I have been putting together furniture, so that's what I'm doing.
Let's go. Stream that.
Stream that. Yeah, I'd watch that.
140.
Jesus Christ! Why?
Hold on. Hold on.
It just opened up.
Hold on.
Though. It just
we
opened
have to.
Up.
It did just open up. Yeah, it really opens up right now. Let's. I gotta compare. We gotta compare and contrast here for a minute.
This
Someone
is Final
keep
Fantasy
talking.
12, right?
Yes. I'm gonna look at my profile.
And I spent most of that playing the game at 2x speed.
No boy.
Some of it at 4x. Okay. Like,
did you do a lot of the side stuff, or is it just the main game?
I did a fair amount of the side stuff.
Okay.
And I will save some of that for when we actually talk.
Yeah,
about
let's. Yeah.
Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, for me is my #1 longest played game. Total time, 539 hours.
Oh my goodness, you played it in 1x the whole time.
I did. I did.
Is that one playthrough or multiple playthroughs because of Chivos?
No, I've got 16 Chivos, so certainly wasn't for fucking Chivos.
Okay.
I streamed it, so I probably walked away with it on once or twice, I'm sure. But
I've got 35. I'm only missing 6.
I've beaten both Final Fantasy VII, the original, at 416 hours, and of course everybody's favorite Final Fantasy VIII, 323 hours. So
that's so many hours on such a bad game.
Well,
yeah.
It's standing there staring at it a long time.
To be fair, I had a lot of. If PlayStation could track hours, I would have a lot of hours in Final Fantasy VIII. You know, the original PlayStation. Because I fell asleep playing that game because it was so boring so many times. During combat.
You know,
I would fall asleep in a fight and wake up dead.
It's got to be
so many times.
It's got to count the title screen, because I'm sure I've stared there in dread, being like, I don't want to play this fucking thing. I'm gonna go take a walk, leave it on. That's probably why I have 323 hours. This fucking game.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Well, all right. No, you're good. Oh, all right. Well, I think that's probably got us done and dusted. So this has been another Press B to cancel. Have a good one.
This game is never coming out. It's never coming out. See you in 7 years.